Vision responses. We're big on vision decision drills. Yes? Let's start out with cover 3. Doesn't matter what your front is. Your basic front there is what? It's an 8-man front? Yeah. Okay. What happens, I'm the corner, right? How many detached on my side? One. All right? I'm going to read the feet of the quarterback. By reading his feet, I can see his shoulder, high or low. All right? So here's what happens. Now, what's going to be nice, this is going to make so much more sense after you saw Kyle's new drive cone drill. If I get a 1, 2, or 3-step drop, in my slide back, if he threw off a 1-step, I'd been 1-step slide back.
Right.
If he took a 2-step drop, he's a southpaw and he's thrown to the right, he'd be in a 2-step slide back, actually straight. 3-step, I'm in a 3. I get below shoulder, basically straight ahead. Yes, I pro plant, and I come. If I'm on time, I think shoulder blades with my head to the outside slightly. Yes, because the free safety is coming downhill, and he's thinking slant all the time.
Right.
He's thinking slant, and then he just arcs and tracks the hip. So he thinks slant, the inside out, and everything else. All right? Again, why can I afford to jump the 1, 2, or 3-step drop against that particular offensive set? Why am I allowed to jump it?
Oh, because there's only one receiver.
Right. You're on the right page. Speed turn out. 1, 2, or 3-step drop, right? 1, 2, or 3. Just like the cone drill now. Shoulders are way outside of me. You've got to pro plant and flip the hips. Now, but you've got to really spend time on them when they flip the hips so you can get about an inch off the ground so you can jack the knees down the pro plant. Remember, Robbie got caught a lot stuck, right? So I've got a pro plant and I'm going through the top shoulder. Yes? If I'm not on time, I've got a shimmy. He's already caught it. So here I come. He's already turned up. Well, if his pads are there and I'm there, that's a late shimmy, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Now I just start to shimmy and he tries to cut back that way. That's a shimmy brake tackle to the right. Get the brake foot down the far armpit, go get him, head up and drive him. If I just start to shimmy late and he breaks outside, that's a shimmy brake tackle to the left. Get the brake foot down to the far armpit. Yes? See how this stuff all ties in?
Yes. Very good.
All right. Next, I'm up here, Tim. I get a 1, 2, or 3-step drop. I get the shoulders inside and the shoulders low. I'm playing the feet. I can see the shoulders. I get slant. You're right back to Kyle's cone drills. I get low shoulder inside off a 1, 2, or 3-step drop. I pro plant, and this is big. You're going for the top shoulder. Right? You don't want to overcut it. And overcut is, I'm thinking, get behind him to the near hip, yes? You don't want to do that, because what will happen on the quick slant, you'll end up going where he's been instead of where he's going, right? And the free safety, pro plant, and he's coming right through the inside pec. There's your squeeze on the ball. Yes? Backside corner, I'm up here, Tim. Backside corner treats it just the same as sweep. I get quarterback off the line, I'm in a slide back. Either square if you're fast enough or out of the crossovers. I see low shoulder away. I open up on a 45, right, and I am hauling. You are the cutback safety, just like you were on sweep away. Yes? And show them why. What happens? Here they came on the slant. Something happened. Corner didn't make the play. Free didn't make it. Right?
Yeah.
The only way the free couldn't make it is if he got too far over the top. The guy put on a move, right? Right?
Right.
Now if he cuts back this way, I just want him to cut back safety. I get up, basically the pads are at me, I shimmy, your head is always to the side from where I came from. You don't want your head over here. You'll go all the way up the other boundary, and that's when they basically take the DB coach and fire him. I just thought you'd like to know that. All right, so you are the cutback safety. If he should split the free in the corner, right? You're just driving on the top shoulder, aren't you? Same as sweep. All right? Same as sweep. Do you have a pretty good feel on that? Share this with your offensive coaches. I've never understood why people play action pass and then throw short. Let's bet it all. So like any good passing game, we're going to fake drop, and we're thinking downtown, intermediate, short. Take a look at my throwing shoulder. Some of you get into coaching quarterbacks. So I fake, I'm set. I'm thinking downtown, intermediate, short. You get that natural come down on the shoulders. Not good passing teams don't think short, deep, intermediate. Shit, my shoulders all over the place. Not smooth. So what I'm saying is, what saves us on the play action. Number one, your corners know in cover three. They're in a slide back, quarterback on or off the line, especially in your triple stack. That's an 8-man front. He's off the line or on, it doesn't matter. So now he pulls it and he drops. If you think in terms of the takeoff route, think in terms of how we play the stalk. Remember how I get off, he's pushing me, I cross over. I don't start coming up until he starts to shimmy and gather, and then I start to come back up, right? Right? Right. To be able to shoot and lock out and all that. Well, what saves on the takeoff, he'll start to push you, and then he'll shimmy. Well, I'm already out of the slide back. I'm either, if I'm fast enough, I'm in a pedal, but for your level, I'm not. I'm in the crossovers, right? Remember how we play the stalk? I don't attack his ass. I come back to him under control, right? Right. So what happens, he settles, if he's 2 or 3 steps from me and he settles, and I start to come back to him. A classic example of why you got to study tape is like Torrey Pines, and they don't get it. When Kyle's at Poway, when they would stalk, the guy would do it good. Like on the offensive ring play, he would push the corner, right? Get 2 or 3 steps away, and then shimmy, right? And take him on. But on their takeoff, he only ran 5 yards up the field and shimmied. And then he took off. Corner's still off, then he gets high shoulder, you cross over and run, and they throw it to you. So how we play the stalk a lot has a lot to do with, it's going to help us against the takeoff route, right? So when Tim was pushing me, I'm in the crossovers, and I don't look at him, I can see the quarterback. Now the quarterback still has it, right? My crossovers, now he starts to shimmy. What's cover 3 tell me? I never break up until I see the ball up once it's gone down to 3-step drop. Right. The ball's not up. So I just slow down the crossovers. Now Tim decides to take off. Now I cross on run, I get high shoulder, I become the intended who? Receiver. So how we play the stalk, as you know, has a lot to do with how we're going to play against the takeoff route. And if they're really good, he'll push you so he's 2 or 3 steps away, and he'll shimmy. But if the ball's not up and you bite, now what they teach him, you're slightly outside of me, he ducks right under you, then he fades to the boundary. Gets back on the midline on you. If you jump inside, he goes around you. Okay? So you got to work play action stuff. Here's a and how we'll practice this stuff a lot. Now we're into practice organization. We'll go a half a side at a time. I don't know if you guys have any. Do you have any of those pop-up dummies? Do you have any stand-up dummies? Get a bunch of old tires. Any service station and give them to you. All right? You're in a triple stack. Is an odd or an even? Front. Odd? I'm telling you, we don't coach eyes enough. And this guy's somewhere over the tackle, right? Yeah. And you have a guy outside. Now he's going to have to bump out, isn't that right?
Right.
So you're gonna still end up with a guy here, then, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, we're putting in the stand-up dummies in the front. That's for that corner over there, that's for that corner over there, because in the game there's people in front of them.
That's very good.
Huge. So for you, because you don't have those pop-ups, you just put them inside the tires and jam them in there. Alright? Now, but what we'll do, we'll go corner and free safety at the same time. So the free safety corner here, we have a free safety corner here. We're going to go a half a side at a time. Here's the China route. The China route, to me, is the sucker route. But more people call it China, plus this is drawn up for major college and pro guys too. That's why that term's in there. What China is, they're trying to screw up the corner. Alright? What happens, I'll get a 3-step drop, and then he's going to pump. Then he's going to reset his feet to 5 steps, and he's going to uncork. Alright? The first China route is, and there may be a pump or no pump. Alright? He may 3-step pump, or he may 3-step drop, and then 2-step more and then throw it. Either way. This is why you got to plug in the free. Here's the first China route that you saw on the video cut up. I get the hitch off a quick drop, and I'm going right towards the corner. Right? How many detached?
2.
2. I get quarterback off the line. I get a 1, 2, or 3-step drop. Right? I'm in the slide back. Suddenly he pumps. This guy jumps in front, 2 detached. I don't jump it till I see the ball up. Suddenly I see the quarterback starting to drop again. Now I speed up the crossovers. Now I get high shoulder outside of me. I cross over and melt. Take you right to the sucker route. Yes?
Yes.
The free safety. Got 1, 2, or 3-step drop. He's always in a pedal out of a slide. So here, first I'm in a slide back. Right? I get 3 steps if I don't get a pump, right? If I don't get a pump, it doesn't matter. Pump or no pump, I'm pro plant, I'm coming downhill, I'm thinking slant, right? If you don't teach it this way, you're going to get him doing nothing. So what I'm saying is, if I get a 3-step drop and he turns, I'm pro plant and I'm coming thinking slant to inside out, arcing on everything else. If I get a 3-step drop and he pumps, it's the same. Because otherwise he's going to be standing there. He doesn't know. If they do both, you're dead. So he does the same. He 3-step drops, pumps. Because I'm not going to be a factor. They're throwing deep outside anyway. I'm not going to be a factor if they throw more inside. What takes care of us is the melt by the corner. The guy could hurt you is this inside slide. This is out of an eagle, or he's on the line, this guy's off. It'd be the same if he was up and he was back. So what happens, I come downhill, I'm thinking slant. Right?
Right.
If there is no slant, then I'm just arcing to whoever. So say they threw the hitch. If he's throwing here or here, I'm not going to be a factor anyway. So I would start to come down for the hitch. Now I see it go over, flying, nobody's around, then I would have to turn and run. But that's fine, because I'm not going to be a factor anyway. So you go a half a side here, you can go half a side here. These guys watch, these guys go. Here's the other China route. Off the 3-step, and either a pump and reset the feet 2 steps, or I just 3-step drop, set, and then take 2 more steps and throw. Speed turn out, go to the corner. It's all the same. What happens, I was in the slide back, right? How many detached? 2. I don't jump the underneath route until I see the ball up, right? Plus, out of the corner of my eye, I can see this guy coming. So I'm in a controlled crossover mode. Now it goes beyond 3 steps. Now I speed up, right? because I have my ass that way, my head's in here, right? What happens now, I get high shoulder just inside of me. That takes care of the sucker around. All right? I don't know what your inside backers are taught, but what really helps this guy, I don't care if you have a detached receiver or not, if I try to knock him up, right, your aiming point with your eyes on the quarterback, is linebacker defense is a ball defense in zone. Get your eyes on the quarterback. I turn in, run to where the near foot of my corner had been. Well, you can see what happens. That intersects the slant, right? So I'm crossing over, right, on the run. Now, if I get 3 steps of the palm off to the out, now I come out of my break, they're going to catch it, but I'm all over it, and they can't snooker him on the sucker around, okay? So how your backers are taught is big. So what I'm saying, get that young guys into offensive wing team and membership, but who you better get in this stuff's the linebacker coach. You'll end up like the guys at Poway, where the DBs knew what they're doing, the linebackers don't ever know. Who coaches the linebackers there?
You got a guy coaching the inside and one guy coaching the outside.
Does your DC coach anything?
He coaches the inside.
Does he? Turn off the tape. Front and back, and that's what good offensive teams do in the passing game. They pick out one defender. They send a guy in front of you and behind you. Hope you jump the one in front. They keep throwing the one behind.
Right.
Yes? An example here, we're going to run 3 roll strong high. 3 roll close fist is strong high. So after you taught cover 3 and cover 2, the kids figured out. If we want to end up in 3, but hide our intentions and show them another zone before the snap, what would that be? They go cover 2. You go that's it. Okay? Okay? What happens? What have I been telling you for a year? There's no way you can force our strong safety, our underplayer. The only coverage you can is in arcing or hanging one side to ever force him deep, right? You can't force him deep in any zone. And we're back, and we don't care if the opponent knows, because he'll end out here in some other coverages also, like in cover 2 as an example. If we're going to run 3 roll strong hide, here's the tight end, here's the flanker. Whoever's going to roll it up is always our underplayer. So there's no way you can ever force him deep. So, if we're going to run 3 roll strong hide, that is a strong safety. This is the faster halves. That is the free, and that is our other corner. Right? Think back to cover 2. If you can still remember all this, I'll be flipping. Cover 2, we see it on first down, put the depth of the corner. 7. You're thinking hang.
Yes.
7. But now, we're in the concept of stick. Third down and 3. Second and 5. Second inning over 7. Second and 13, 7. So they don't get to sticking it past 7. That doesn't just mess up the passing game, you can really dick them around with the run. Because that guy has the force, so he's up there closer based on the down and distance, yes?
Right on.
So if it was first down, we're going to be at 7. Right? What happens? I get drop back pass. You've been to our stuff before, yes, in cover 2? Yes? What happens, I'm already at 7. I just bring up the outside foot and buzz. Stay 50-50, boundary leverage, right? Do what you got to do, either shuffle or glide. Stay 50-50, eyes inside. If your kids are good at jamming, fine. If they're not good at jamming, float. Plus, you want to take a serious note here. I always say the big secret. You see this tight end?
Yeah.
And why I'm bringing this up, this is from years and years of getting hit on this thing. We always held it to a short game, so one time the end didn't make the tackle and it was close. And what you better honestly talk your bosses into too. You start running a lot of this, you got to get into a 4 deep someday. You can't adjust using a linebacker and think he can play this shit. Okay. Now you can always run pre-inverted 3 with an outside backer, but you can't, 8-man fronts. I'm showing you what you're gonna get to do someday.
Yeah.
So I roll it up. If you ever have a tight end, I always float. Because what happened in the old days, we got a lot of slant, right? And I'll get in the glide for 3 steps, right?
Right.
But the tight end's going arrow right now.
Right.
Well, what happens, whoever our backer is in a normal defense is dropping slot, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, if he gets a short drop, he's coming out of it, and they're able to hold that to a short game. What I'm saying is we found our underplayer getting, because the guy's a stutter, he can play strong safety. So he's getting caught a little inside. We're getting outflanked on the arrow.
Yep.
So I always float, which means as I start inside, if I feel the tight end arrow, I just pop right back out, because now this guy's in the linebackers anyway.
Right.
So he's got to use his eyes. So we won't ever jam on high if the guys can roll it up, right? So then I work back. If I can keep my inside shoulder at the quarterback, I cross over and head for the hole, huh?
Yes.
Now, if they check it down, which is what we're trying to have happen, because they'll throw that arrow off a 3-step, but they'll go arrow and hole off a 5-step, right? Well, you can see what happens. That takes me right to it. Now, if they didn't and it threw shorter, you would side plant and come up, right?
Right.
Drop back pass, right? Because I'm showing them has, crossovers, got to get it four crossover steps. I'm in the 3rd, free, 1, 2, 3, 4, flip your hips to the middle, corner, guarding the crossovers, and I have a 3rd, all right? See how smart you are. I told you there's no way you can make our strong safety deep if we ever roll it and hide it. How about if we signal in 3, roll, open hand is weak, high. We're going to roll it this way now. Who is that guy? Who is that guy?
Corner?
No, and I ain't the corner. It's a strong safety. You ain't going to force us deep.
Right.
So he knows he always rolls to wherever it's called. So, strong safety's now here. Right? Faster corner's now the has. Free's over here, corner's over here. Okay? Now, you got to write this down for the DC. If you ever get into hiding, you got to have 4 ways to call everything. Strong, weak, field, and boundary. You need 5 ways. Strong, weak, field, and boundary, or a dominant whiteout. Say he's that old number 18 again, right? So we got to be able to call 3 roll strong, 3 roll weak, 3 roll field, 3 roll boundary, or 3 roll to whoever he is, like number 18, their best guy. Yes? Now you're into some serious stuff here. Are you ready? I'll take that as a yes. You'll game plan this off of tape, but you'll teach it initially. This is really slick. Eye fixations for the corner. Quarterback goes beyond the 3-step. Using split vision, because I got my eyes on who? The quarterback. If you're to a detached, one receiver detached, yes, he goes beyond the 3-step, right? 5 or 7. If you're fast enough in the slide back, you're square. If you're slower, you're already slightly turned, right? You're going to love this. By keeping your eyes on the quarterback. And all you got to do is take yourself out there with a buddy and do this and go, I can see this. If you can see it, your kids can. What happens, we don't pattern read with our backers in cover 3. And 2, you have to some, especially on the tight end, or he's running straight down the middle, clean right. Pattern read only gives you an indication of what might happen, right? So what we tell the corners, we're going to let you learn to see the big picture before it happens. You're going to flip. Are you ready? Number 1, goes beyond 5 steps. Now I'm into the crossovers, or I'm into a pedal. You still got your eyes on the quarterback. I don't worry about him. I only worry about him in the slide back in terms of standing on his outside shoulder. Yes? Here's what happened. He's gone and he's pushing it. What happens? The back steps up and blocks. I'm looking at him. I can see him step up and block. That's the dead key. Dead key means that doesn't give me any indication of what the receiver's route probably is. All right? So I'm just playing what I do, and I'm playing the shoulders and all that. Doesn't give me anything to anticipate. Like I don't anticipate melting in or out early. I haven't gotten high or low shoulder. I don't know nothing. That doesn't tell me anything. Okay? So you're showing that first. Da 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 da. Goes beyond 3 steps. I'm into a pedal, right? I'm getting back, coming on some kind of an outside move right now. So by the time I see it, he's basically going where? Flat. So in my mind's eye, I'm thinking that receiver's coming in. So I do what I do, and sure enough, I get 5-step drop, quarterback shoulders inside, palms low. I'm slow down the crossovers. One detach my side, low shoulder. I'm driving to the top shoulder. Go, how in the hell do you know that? Because who told you it's this guy? 9 times out of 10, if he's going out, he's coming in, right? On something. Hitch. Skinny post. Well, that doesn't change anything I do. I'm just already anticipating what? If I get high, I'm going to get high shoulder probably inside. Isn't that right? I'm already thinking if he throttles down, I stand up above, that I might get hitch. But that's how they learn to see the big picture. All right? Now, it may be off your game tapes that every time they send him flat, this guy might be on a deep comeback, right? Doesn't matter. I still do what I do, right? But it's giving you a little second tip of what's probably going to happen, right? So that's what the game plan means. Say they don't do this. Every time he starts right now heading for the outside, this guy's always out. That's just an indication of seeing the big picture. This one you can take to the bank. He goes beyond 3 steps. I'm out of the slide back. I'm into the crossovers, right? You get swing right now. Right now. Any age group, 9 times out of 10, that guy's coming somewhere inside. Okay? So that doesn't change what I do. I'm still playing high and low shoulder, shoulder in or out, right? Or straight out. But it gives you an indication of what might happen. And when you get into this, kids really get good at it. And they don't look at the back. On the corner, I'm sliding back, then I'm in my crossovers, or I'm pedaling based on his speed, right? Come on, Zakota. I can see what the guy's doing. Yeah. Gives you an indication of what's going to probably happen. The sooner you guys can learn the big picture, the better break on the ball they're going to get. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Now, your first year, because it is your first year there, so basically it's a new program for you, even if it isn't for them. You don't have to get this taught your first year, but you better get it taught the second. If you can just get them to play the feet and the shoulders the first year. Now what's happening, you're going 20-80 on them. You can always add things. You just don't want to add too much too soon, right?
Right.
Yes? You guys do not have a strong safety. You have an outside backer who in essence is.
Right.
Yes? Take a look at front and backs on him. All right? What happens for you, you're an 8-man front, and we just talked to the 4-4 guys about this up in Oakland, and they flipped. Most 4-4 people, such as the Poway last year, they got this guy too far in and too far up. But he's basically a strong, you can call him whatever you want, he is a strong safety.
Right.
So we want him 5 and 5, and we have the outside foot up, inside foot back, except in the 4-4, we get him parallel because he's a linebacker. What I'm saying is, he has to understand they're going to front and back him a bunch. A bunch. Here's what I'm talking about exactly. Don't worry about him. You're going to get this until the cows come home. Curl, hitch, and arrow, right? There is no flat. That's the F word in zone. We want you to throw there so we can drive on, hold to a short gain, yes? So when you get back to having a true strong safety, my butt's a little to boundary. I get quarterback off the line. I just, about a half-speed pedal, I'm working into the slot area, right? Between him and him, right? Quarterback goes beyond 3 steps. I can speed up the pedal a little, but I stay in the slot area. We can see what's going to happen. Now, you guys in an 8-man front, I can be parallel, right?
Right.
And I get drop back, and I'm telling you, since he's not a DB, if you think he can pedal back there, you're dreaming, right? But I can cross over and run under control and keep my shoulder at the guy. If based on the field I can't, we let him flip his hips the other way as he goes, so you can see. So what happens, take a look at that. You're right in the way of the curl or the hitch. Now what happens, I'm playing the offhand shoulder key. I get the shoulder outside and the shoulder is low. Palm comes off, right? I'm driving to the top shoulder. Sound familiar? Just what the corner did on the speed turnout with only one detached. Yes? It's all the same. But you've got to get into a lot of front and back and stuff on him. A lot. Now here comes the fun stuff. You see this every week, every age group. Hitch, flat, front, back. Strong safety, outside back of the head to bump out on slot, huh?
Right.
We never let a slot off.
Clean.
Thank you. Clean. See, I turned on my button. He said the magic word right then before you. Clean. I don't know if you saw that. I said we never let a slot off, and I went clean. I'm amused. Okay, now look. So I'm off 3 yards, right?
Yes.
Split him in half. Your backer's parallel can do this everywhere else, outside foot up. There's the only difference, strong safety's got to square up and buzz his feet. I jam, look, means look at the quarterback. Get him 50-50, yes, jam, look. Because if he's throwing right now, I'm all over this shit. He tries to come slightly outside, carrying 3 steps, right, as square as I can, right? Carrying 3 steps, square as I can. Zone turn, turn your ass back towards the boundary. Come right back into the slot area. You can see what's going to happen. Quarterbacks look like they've been playing with a yo-yo. And what's nice, this isn't just high school. We used to kill St. Mary's with this. Because a lot of their quarterbacks that played against us, I tried to get them. Terry Cottle, he ended up coaching at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas for years. I don't know where he's at now. He was their quarterback. 6'4", had a gun. Well, what good passing teams do, they read your second defender in that stance. And they talk inside receiver, outside receiver. And if they see you make any move to the outside, that tells them to hit the inside break.
Right.
But it's off a 5-step, besides just 3. So you know what happens? Poor old Terry, he had a gun. He'd drop back. He's standing our strong safety, or for you, your outside backer. He'd see him just start to carry him. That tells him to hit the curl, or the hitch, right? He would just take the palm off. Now the safety's coming back in the slot area. It's like he would throw it and he's trying to bring it back. He's playing the yo-yo, like, come back, little Sheba, come back. It's a beautiful thing. Yes?
Yeah.
What also happens, he'll try to duck under. 9 times out of 10, if he's in, I'm in. Right? I jam, look. Carry him 3 steps inside. If I can still keep my inside shoulder and see the quarterback, yes? I cross over and run into the slot area. Based on the field, if I carry him 3 steps in and I couldn't comfortably keep my inside shoulder at him, I zone turn, flip my ass to the boundary and run back into the slot area. They throw it to you. And I'm telling you, an outside backer type, an 8-man front, can do that every bit as well as a strong safety. What's the only difference? His feet are already parallel to start. Whereas our strong safety has got to bring it up and start to buzz. But the footwork, the jam, the look, and the slot area is all the same. Okay? So those are things that we start to get into. Now I don't even want to get into this stuff or you'll go out of your mind. This is major college and pro stuff. This is out of our offensive playbook, by the way, so don't worry about it. If it doesn't make sense to you, it will. Are we simple? 70 tells our offensive line how many steps back quarterback taking. 7. Thank you. I thought you never asked. Think super quick, last 2 steps, any drop. 5, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the NCAA route. Why? Because everybody in the NCAA runs it. All the drop back or play action. 70 over X. The Z will normally break the huddle and cut down his split a bit. All right? He's going to run the skinny post. All right? He's going to run the skinny post. Tight ends on the diagonal drag. X against the soft corner, right? Yeah. He's going to push it up to at least 20, look 2 through and beyond the corner, and then break it right over the middle. Right? So now where are they front and backing? The free. Yes? Yes. This is huge, boy. I get quarterback off the line, I'm in a slide back. The difference between him and the corners, regardless of your speed on the corners, yes? You're always square. You never turn in a slide back, whereas your corners can cheat when they're outside, right? Right. Now it goes beyond 3 steps, I'm hauling ass into a pedal. As long as his non-throwing shoulder is straight up the field, you stay in the middle, right? You stay on top. So what happens, the quarterback, you're talking about simple read, he reads your free. If your free stays off, they throw the over. Your free bites, they go downtown to the throwback on the skinny post, right? So what he's got to do, he's got to stay off, right? Right. Right? Now, what'll happen on a 7-step drop, why guys can do this, even in high school, they go, well, our kid's arm's not that great. He ain't throwing that deep. You can't run it off at 50 at any age group because your skinny post guy can't get deep enough, nor he's got to cut it off too shallow and the guy's in the linebackers, right? So you got your eyes on my upfield shoulder, just step my upfield shoulder. And you're feeling skinny post, you're getting over. I'm straight in the middle. Now, I give you a high shoulder here. What's that tell you? I'm throwing the skinny post, right? But I come down. I'm throwing who? The over route. Over. Some people call it a dig. Oh, okay. I just call it over. Okay. That's why it's called 70 over X burn. Okay? What the good quarterback could do, couldn't hit it deep, couldn't hit the over, he checks out tight end. Right? Now, check this out. Remember the play of our corner? You're going to see how this all starts to fit now, I hope. Take a look against the throwbacks. Right? Say they had a protection, or maybe they just kept the tight end and stay. Tight end stay, fullback's always away, people know pass offense know that. So they can protect the edge on both sides. Right? Aren't my eyes still on the quarterback? Yes. And I'm playing his shoulders. As I start to slide, if I'm in my slide back, and now I'm either in a crossover or I'm into my pedal, right? I feel the back going where? Outside flat. I'm thinking just a little ahead of time, I bet you I'm getting something inside. I stay off. Suddenly the shoulder comes down. I'm driving on the top shoulder. Okay? Free safety, I got him turned here, high shoulder, I open drive melt. Open drive melt doesn't mean just turn my butt, I just turn that way, right? So what happens, I'm in a pedal, right? Right? And then I got high shoulder over here, right? I'm in a pedal, boom, I open drive that way and I hunt him up and I'm going right through his face. And we prefer seeing it come down to do it, but sometimes it happens, he gets caught a little short, right? So you've got to show them front and back possibilities with 70 over X. What they'll also try to hit you on, front and back in the free safety, is 70 over Z. It's just all it is now. X will normally cut down his split. X is on the skinny post. Z is on the over. tight end is still on the diagonal drag. All right? You're right back to the same thing. They're trying to front and back free. You will never see at any level a 7-step drop and a pump. You ever notice that? Because by the time you pump and drop, you're out of time. So what I'm saying, I get quarterback back here, I get high shoulder, right? Before he even turns one or the other, if I get high shoulder, I just pedal straight as hard as I can go, right? That brings the skinny post right to you, or if he's further over. Now if he's further over, you have to turn his shoulders, high shoulders. I open drive melt. Open drive melt means I turn to him. Right. Just to melt, just turn my ass that way. Right. That's why we never look at his eyes, even if you can see his eyes. Because he's going to give you the front shoulder, but he's going to look this way. As soon as you start to melt that way, he's going that way. You know what I'm saying? So you've got to show them front and backs for the strong safety, or the outside back on your 8-man front, and you've got to show them how they're going to try to front and back the free safety out of the overs. Fire it up. I can't find my, where's my, oh, the free from Michigan. What kind of quarterback action is this? Boot becomes sprint, right?
Yeah.
Boot becomes sprint. So I'll start straight back. I got quarterback off the line, right?
Right.
Then he fakes and then he starts to boot out. Boot becomes sprint. Yes? You better open drive and melt and end up on the top and the outside third. Yes?
Yeah.
Take a look at this corner. Great job by the backside corner melting against boot, because boot becomes sprint. You ain't throwing back over here. Get your skinny ass moving and melt, right? Okay? Crossover melt. Don't cover air. Look how many guys are converging on the ball. Now, here's the big issue. You've got to get this right. I know I've thrown a ton at you here. Their colors are purple and gold because I love you. This is an older tape, so these are the same hash marks that you've got. In cover 3, if all I have is a tight end, right? We don't want you out there. He's got to force his Bronco. In your triple stack, you're outside the back, or your end has a force, huh? You got it. We bring him 8 yards in here, just inside the tight end. He still has a third. Now watch how much quicker he could have melted on the boot. Plus they ran drop back play action or drop back and sent him straight downtown. That's where they nail your ass. You didn't play your boundary corner in Husky back at 8 or 9 off the inside shoulder of the tight end. What they'll do, they'll drop. If they're freezing on coast, they'll eye him off, so he'll melt this way. Tight end goes whoop right down the pike, right?
Yep.
Very good, DJ. A lot of guys driving on the ball, boy. How about them Wolverines? Pretty nice, huh? What the hell is that? We're going to roll it up somewhere or drop a safety down to any quarterback around, right?
Yeah.
That's cover 2.
Right.
See if the halves cheat a little towards the boundary? You should even be another yard out there. I mean, if you're going to hide it, hide it. This I like. When you get to a normal program someday that has a 4 deep. But I just want to stimulate your thought process. Now, what this is 3 drop hide. Drop somebody down. Yes? Wouldn't our strong safety normally be here because we never let a slot clean?
Right.
That is the strong safety. So now, what Michigan does, they don't roll up a corner and then play thirds, because that, right? They leave the corners out here. Corners have thirds. Free's got to get to the middle, and how many crossover steps? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, whip it. What they do, they get him off anywhere from 10 to 13, 14, just like a house guy. On the snap, I drop down. The strong safety's now here. You can never force him deep. Now he drops down. Well, what happens a lot, if you drop him down in here, you can buzz the outside backer, can still run under the inside foot of his corner, right?
Right.
So you get this, that. It's a beautiful thing, okay? This would be called 3-drop field high. Yes?
Yeah.
Show him 2, safety drops down. All right, so that would be our strong. If we ran 3 roll field high, we're going to roll the corner. That would be the strong safety. Yes? So if we're going to roll it, that's the strong safety. We're going to drop it, I'm the strong safety. Yes?
Yes.
I'm in heaven here. Let's see how he does. Let's watch the right outside linebacker. Thank you very much. Always nice he had an influence on people.
Yeah.
What'd I tell you? Once his offense breaks out, he turns around and he finds his corner, right? His drop's just a little wide. He wants to drop to the near foot of his corner, right? To that angle. Eyes on the quarterback. What happens now, he's in shotgun. Corner stares at his feet. If he steps back over 1 step, I get out of the slide back and I'm into the crossovers or the pedal. Okay? If he just stands there or takes 1 step back, he's thrown in a hurry. So I may be just out of the slide back and just in quick pedal crossover before I break. Take a look at how this drop can really help this guy. Now it takes a hell of a throw to hit that in there. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Now, watch the secondary, watch the safety drop down, watch this freeing up in the third. See him?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to tell you something. Poway's corners were coached better than Michigan's. You go, you got to be kidding me, right? No, I'm not kidding you.
I believe it.
Take a look at the corner to bottom. Who tells you what's going on? Him, or him?
Quarterback.
So I'm out of the slide back, crossovers, he turns his shoulders that way, you're working that way, right?
Right.
Overplay his intentions. Here's 3-drop boundary. 3-drop boundary. Strong safety just sits there. Do you see him?
Yes.
This time they didn't even drop him down. He just stood there.
Buzz his feet or something.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, what's nice now, I can take care of any crossing route. So that's an example of 3-drop, right?
Yeah.
3 safeties in the middle. Backer coach, you got to be disciplined. Because you can't understand secondary if you don't understand the linebacker, right?
Right.
Wherever I line up, I want to drop to the near foot of the corner in cover 3. Him. So you just visualize him dropping right through here, okay? He could have made that play, I think. just stare at him again. His angle's a little too far up the field. You see that? Now he missed knocking this down by about an inch. Heartbreak is psoriasis. See, to any quarterback, right? Yes? That is either already predetermined 3-row boundary, yes?
Right.
Or that's going to be 3, we'd have to call it white, because the wide side and the strength's up there, right? So, 3 white, man-to-man, he's going to have the third, right? But they've called drop. So he may be in a press bail and a snap, he just has a third, right?
Yeah.
Suddenly, this guy goes in motion. But we've already called 3 drop field, right? So I'm still the drop down guy, right? So I'd be the drop down guy, third, 1, 2, 3, third, press bail, third. Look at the drop down safety. You want to end up in the slot area. The slot area is right between where those 2 guys are, okay? Okay? Alright? Here's a classic. What kind of a... Now, what's happening to him now, he's getting what's called a horizontal stretch. He's got a receiver outside of him, inside of him. He overplays the guy outside, they throw the guy inside. Plus he's getting front and back at the same time. So he didn't only get horizontally stretched, he got front and back too, yes? That's good pass offense. When they can take 3 receivers on a defender, horizontally stretch him on each side, and still front and back him with only a total of 3 guys. Right? He overplayed the F word. Right? Now we open up the slot area. Huh? Fortunately, he couldn't hit it. Now we're just to do a normal pre-inverted cover 3. For us, we'll never run that guy under the inside foot of the corner, because that's the strong safety. Right? We'll just shuffle back into the slot area. We're not going to let you throw the ball and it's inside. Okay? Inside?
Right.
Let's look at the play of the free. This kid was pretty good. So I put the X on him. Watch this. He gets the quarterback shoulder straight ahead. He stays in the middle. Right? Shotgun. Backed up over a step. I get going to my pedal. Right? There's the over route. You got to get back up after you see it thrown and run right through the face of the over route. Yes? Your head's got to end up inside. Let's see if the corner does a good job of getting to the top shoulder or not. No, he doesn't. He rounds it off, it's called. You'll see this in high school a lot, right?
Yeah.
Why does he round it off? You take a look at his eyes. You stand on the receiver too long, right? You got your eyes on the quarterback. So I'm saying, not just in theory, but proof on tape. Poway's corners played this better than Michigan's playing.
Yes, sir.
3 drop. Now, the other thing I didn't show you up on the board. I'm the corner, right? Shotgun, right? There's the back, right? If he steps inside the block or comes up on a stop route in the middle, that doesn't tell me anything of what I'm probably going to think I'm going to get in terms of high or low shoulder, inside or out. That's a dead key. If he pass blocks or he comes up the middle and stops on a route, that doesn't really give me an indication of seeing the big picture. All right? We're going to drop somebody down here. I think it's him. Yep. This is 3 drop boundary. So again, if you don't want to roll it up, you just drop the safety, just sits there. Right? Just plays the shoulders and the quarterback's intentions. 3rd. Third. Just showing you what other people do a little bit out of cover 3. Looks like 2. Gonna drop it out of there. Boy, is this a great job, the corner playing the quarterback and the ball, or what? Stare at this left corner. Now, his pedal's terrible. You want to see loud hands?
Yeah.
Here it is. But take a look at him. He's playing the quarterback. Get shoulders outside, palm off, see him snap, turn, and break over here, and there's nobody even here. Because he did what he should have done. Play the intentions of the quarterback, right? Free safety, you're killing me. You're killing me, Whitey. One of these 2 is dropping in the middle. It's him. Right? Right?
Yeah.
So I just start to pedal. Is his shoulder straight up the field? No, he's turned this way. Right? But his palm's still on the ball, isn't it? Now just turn your ass and start melting this way. Right?
Right.
As soon as the palm's off, low shoulder, plant and hunt him up. But watch him flip the wrong way here. He's still crossed the wrong way. He's thrown over here the whole time. See that?
Yeah.
I'm going to be late if he would have thrown there. I think the quarterback just threw it away. But isn't that amazing? It's the same at every age group. We don't do eyes enough. Illinois
Yes, for sure.
and the Houston Cougars. This will be worth the price of admission, my man. Because I'm sure you get a bunch of this on the high school level. You're going to get a ton of this in college and the pros. Trips. Right?
Yeah.
Normally, your better teams run trips into the field, right? Because they know you got the sideline over here. Right?
Right.
Isn't that guy within 5 yards of the boundary?
Yep.
Now, if there was just one out here, right, I'd be on his inside shoulder in cover 3. We've gone over that before.
Right.
But now I've got him into the boundary, right? And there's 2 more of them here, right?
Yep.
Get about 2 or 3 yards inside of this guy. Because what you're going to get if they're throwing deep, you're going to get a lot of the switch routes. Guys going to be crossing, right? Then the shoulders tell you who he's throwing to. So what we don't care here if we're already outflanked, all right? It doesn't matter. This backer now, he's not stupid. He ain't gonna run for his foot now. He runs on a 45 out here, okay? You understand against trips?
Yeah.
That's into the boundary. Because I've got the sideline here like it's an extra corner.
Right.
Okay? Now they bring a guy over, you're killing me. You'll like this. Ask coach if you can special sub. Yes. We've got an obvious passing down. They have two down wideouts. Yes. Remember silver, remember white? If we want to cover 31 out of nickel, we bring in the 5th DB, right? We play tight or trail man on both dominant guys, 3 deep behind him. If he goes deep, we got him double. Isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
This is 31 nickel, okay? This corner's coming over. Trail or tight, this guy's right in his face, 3 deep behind it. You can't ask for simpler than that, okay? That's cover 31. If we use a double-digit number, the first number tells us how many are back deep, 3. What's the second number? 1, we're playing man or man underneath. This is Notre Dame. Let's take a look at the corner at the top. Slide back, getting pushed, pedal, nice. This is highlight film and I'll turn it off, boy. This is really good. He gets pushed beyond 3 steps. We'll watch him get into his pedal or crossovers. Then he gets low shoulder, watch him slow down the crossovers. See? Now I can slide plant and get back. They caught it. That's your coaches, and you better understand, that is a hell of a play.
Yeah.
Because in zone, we're going to keep the ball, what, inside of us and in front of us.
Right.
That is a big-time play. But what you get a lot, you'll get a guy just bailing out of here, right? And then he's got all kinds of space to turn it up after he caught it. That's big time right there. Okay, turn off. Go ahead and snap it on if it isn't. 8-man front. You've got to teach it from somewhere, right? You always want to run cover 2. And for your 8-man front, all right, for your 8-man front, you're going to call it 2 collision. And why you're going to call it 2 collision, you don't want to call it 2 sky, you'll get the linebacker screwed up. Number 1, your first rule in 2 collision, 8-man front. We always want to run 2 collision to the 2 cut side if the ball's in the middle of the field. So 2 cut side. Field. Your second rule, right? We want to run 2 collision to the wide side. All right? Here's what happens. Hang on to your shorts. We're getting drop back pass. All right? What you can do, you can change it up here sooner or later. Now this guy's up and in an up stance.
Yeah.
So you've got 3 down. Right?
Right.
How we first teach it is him. If you get him in an obvious passing down, right? Let him bump out. Where he's not 5 and 5, but he's out a yard or so outside the tight end. Once they learn the cone system, because we have that tapes, by the way, cone system's out of triple stack. For you inside backer guy ought to really get into this. Doesn't change his cone system. Against the run, he just gets there coming from a different place. Right? I get drop back pass. First, let's talk about the outside backer 8-man front. There goes Z. I see drop back, I pop, I collision. And what happens, anytime we're in two collision, my depth is 5 yards back, 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, get a yard or two outside the tight end, right? I turn and run straight at him, hard as I can go. If he slants in right now, you can see what's going to happen. I'm going to collision his ass, and I'm going to force him up above me. So say he does that. So I turn and run. Here he comes. Throttles down. It's just like shimmy tackling, except I don't tackle him. I knife him. And on the inside jug, right? Knife him. Right? I'm going to knife him, and I'm going to force him up above me. Right as I force him up above me, you see what happens to my hip? I knife him, force him above me, run like hell to the hole. You got to be creaming, I hope. Huh? I collision, zone turned to the hole. Remember the hole in cover 2?
Yeah.
Your corner. I got to hold it off a minute, but not long. You back up to 9. If you need to back up to 10, you do that. What's going to happen? I'm going to get quarterback off the line. Yes. My ass is doing it. I'm always going to cross over. I'm not going to pedal. Yes? Okay? Right. I'm going to cross over just a little, not much, just a little inside so they can't tell it didn't cover 3. But I'm going to cross over just a little to the inside. Right? And if they're not throwing 1, 2, or 3 step drop, now I am hauling ass into the half on the run. 1, 2, 3, 4, bang, half. All right? All right? Over here. Corner's off at 7, except it's under 7 yards on 2nd or 3rd down, then I'm in stick. They don't know what the hell you're in here. They may think they're manned up over there, who knows. I'm the rolled corner, free safety. Drop back pass, 1, 2, 3, 4, halves. If you know anything about basic defense, it doesn't change your 8-man front. That end knows I'm doing a split end, I'm always coming. Cover 2. I give my tackle a call a sink. If that guy shows pass, I know I can sink inside. This guy knows if he has a tight end, he's always in the drop. Well, what happens, you're going collision here, right?
Right.
So I don't have to run into the slot area, right? So I can really beat the shit out of him as much as I want. And then I pop my hips outside and I work in here. Eyes on the quarterback. Drive straight away off the offhand shoulder key, yes? Right. Break straight as a backer. Nothing changes. Anybody in cover 2. I pop, always towards the tight end, right? Start to drop the heart of the strong hook. Tight end goes vertical. I got him. Either tighter trail man, forcing the air of the ball into the house guy, right? Just like you've been taught before. I pop weak and favor the outside divider of the hook weak. Just like in cover 3. Yes? So I know I'm always in the drop. I give him a call to get up the field like a jet. If it's pass block, right?
Right.
Half man move. He's in Lou. The backer's telling Lou, if you're odd, don't worry about him getting a pass rush. He ain't. He'll get double, at least double, usually triple. So I just take on the center till he gets past the thread of the draw. Then I try to come just a little to the left. Balanced pass rush. That is 2 collision. That is big time. And now you don't have to special sub. You don't have to do squat. Do you like it or,
Right
you,
on,
don't, or you don't like it?
Well, that's outstanding.
Now everything we taught from before is the same. I come to collision. He goes super shallow. If I start to buzz you and you go right under me, screw him. Ball's not up, so I'm turning, run like hell in the hole. Now, say he really comes shallow. Why you don't chase him? You're going to get arrow and up into the hole when they know you start doing a lot of this. What saves is the collision guy. I come downhill, he comes under me. Screw him. Zone turning right now the hole. Your eyes are on the quarterback, not on whoever. Eyes back to the ball. He'll load it up and you'll get high shoulder into the hole. Right? So I'm getting back to the hole, and I'm in Fat City. Now, say they did something where he took off and his tight end just went short flat. You do not jump the flat route until you see the ball up out of the side plant, just like we taught the DBs.
Right.
I'm to the hole, side plant, get back up, head to the outside.
Very good.
We're in Fat friggin' City. Yes?
Yep.
Yes? You have a basic feel, but 2 collision for you guys would be outstanding.
Thank you.
Because now you can do it with the people that are in there.